Thank you. Appreciate it. Shadow. Sleeping. Definitely. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hope you consider liking and subscribing. I think you already like. Thank you. You did. Thank you, Lexi. Or Lexi C. Valley. Found this music on YouTube. It's called The Relax Moment. Thank you. Nice. Thank you, Lexi. Just subscribed back. Why are all these shorts coming out? I wish I knew how to comment on this, but I don't think I can. Thank you for Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Soon I will make video descriptions of each plant. Right now I don't have any videos. I just have three. But I want to make one of each different type of plant, describing how the roots look, type of soil I use, watering methods. Definitely got me to consider going back and looking at how many subscriptions I have. I mean, even though they don't cost much, there are some channels I didn't even know I was subscribed to. But now that I have a channel, even though it's a big or small YouTube channel, I consider subscribing if I really like the content because I know that it makes a difference and it doesn't cost anything to subscribe. It's free, but it makes a difference to our channel. But I definitely like to leave a comment. So ever since I started uploading videos, I'll comment new subscriber and I wanted to do that to your channel, but since I'm playing music, I started playing one of your videos. I'm like, oh no, I'm not being a stalker. But yeah, I don't like how sometimes you don't get to know who's subscribing. It's just like a new subscriber. Not like TikTok, where you get to see who liked it and who who's seen it. I don't like TikTok, by the way. The poopies got a shower today. They're all tired. They were playing. Got their little blankets washed. They got showered. And they're so tired from playing. now it's just time to enjoy the day off like it's a regular day. I can't let the New Year's celebration throw off my hobbies. So I got to focus, and I usually meditate or enjoy time with my dogs. Since I already did, they already got tired, and I thought it would be great to promote my YouTube channel. I live in LA. It's really ghetto, so you could hear the background noise. There's noise. There's fireworks. But it's not about that. It's about the plants. My intentions is promoting greenery and green space living, regardless. It's just a hobby, and it became a little repulsive, not repulsive, impulsive, whatever you call it, but it's cute, it's clean. Guy monstera over there has a new leaf. It was in the center, but I decided to move it to the corner. I really wanted to adjust and grow up the wall. So all my cables for my equipment. I have a lot of plants. I have more outside, but my pets are not garden friendly. It's not looking the best. So I got these from Dollar Tree, all these little pots. And I went to my local um, nursery, and I decided to split my little plants. I decided to feel, what do you call it? Like I had abundance of something, rich of plants. So I have some Hoyas up there. I have some ferns. I have some, I forgot what those are called. The ones there. I have some philodendrons. It's like heart-shaped pothos. I have some little small polar plants, which are those. That literally came in one pot. I literally got like 30 palms from one tiny $8 pot. I like the spider plant. And then I have the hog's horn fern. Some more spider plants. I love snake plants. Um, I have another spider plant up there. It's not a spider plant. And then I like to keep my living room windows open too. So my neighbors or people, there's a sidewalk there, so I promote greenery. Even though my house is a little poor, it doesn't matter. I like to promote greenery through my windows. I really like the idea that maybe when I own my home one day, I'll have a lot of plants, like Santa Monica and all the nice, beautiful green spaces. What else do I have? My money tree. I have some olive trees in the back. I have 3 olive trees. They're lined up. I don't know if you could see them sticking out. They're really cute. Um, Another dragon tree. That's the last surviving. How you call it? What is that? Ivy? Yeah, it's an ivy fern. Some little collections. some more snake plants. These are called prayer plants. They're purple. And I recently, that's oregano. One of my neighbors gave me oregano. Popped them in there to propagate. Don't know if they're gonna grow. In the nighttime, this plant closes up because there's no sunlight coming in through the windows. Yep, my monstera's new leaf. Let's actually get a closer look of the monstera. I've been sitting on the floor for too long. Let's actually get a closer look of the monstera. What's this video? No, not me. My sister's religious, so excuse any. We respect all religions, but yeah, that's really pretty. I used to be in the center of my thing for so long, getting light from from the afternoon, but I get tired, and it's getting really heavy, and it's starting to lean around. But I really wanted to somehow pull it. My goodness, my other phone. What did I do? Hold on, I want to put my music back. Did something. No, what did I do? What did I do? Oh, look at this. You couldn't see that one up close. This is the, what is it called? Syngonium, the arrow plant. My orchid is giving new babies. Found this really cool cutting. My neighbors have cut down their plants. And I found it. They had tossed it in the alley. I love this one because it's purple. It has a really hard name to pronounce. But I think I have a video on my shorts. But yeah, this is so cool. That like grew like less than a week. Oh my, and it already curved. Yeah, those are really nice colors. This one too, it's purple. Cutting is called the fishbone prayer plant. And these are my olive trees. I got these from Santa Monica Food Bank. I love going there because there's a kava next to it, and they give free plants. I mean, sometimes it gets a little scary because there's a lot of people um, with a lot of needs, mental needs, and it's really packed. And you have to respect that it's for them mostly, but most of them don't care for plants. And I made friends with, oh my God, this rotted. Okay, that's not good. I have to toss this. To find a place for that. It's a baby snake plant. I felt really guilty and conscious about killing a plant, and I said, no way, Jose. And I recently planted this one. It's really cute. It's my favorite. I'm waiting for the leaves to split. In nature, this is basically like a baby leaf, and once it gets more mature, they'll have leaves coming out of the splits. So it'll be like 7 leaves total. So it'll be like 4 leaves like that individual, plus these 2, and then the tail. And usually you'll never find it, no matter how tall and big it is. It just needs to be out in the wild for it to grow better. Propagated some orchids. Oh no. Oh yes. New roots. That is really good because usually I kill this plant. This is the only type of orchid I can never grow. And usually it's because it gets overwatered. So what I did, I make sure that they're not Don't worry, I'm gonna clean everything. I decided to make sure not to over. Oh my god, it is growing. It's been like a month and it's still looking toasty. And usually that's a sign of thirst, but it's just shock at this point. They're called Kiki orchids. And this one's really cute. I had a bunch of these. I have one in my kitchen, but I made like 12 of them and it didn't grow. I found some broken succulents and I was like, I need to take these home so I can grow them. My brother has a fish tank. He brought me some grass from my outside little fish tank that I have, and he wanted to take some back because he's like, oh wow, I don't even have that plant, and it grew so much in you for you, and he forgot to take this. This is for, and then my Pilea peperomioides lost a leaf, which I don't think it's gonna make it. Maybe I need to recut it and set it back in water. But yeah, this is my oregano. Apparently, oregano is a herb I use for cooking, and it has a very strong smell. It's really good. It's apparently really beneficial for you. People buy this very expensive oregano oil, like for not shots, but like pills. They're like little capsules, and they're supposed to help you with your like system or whatever. So yeah, I planted these, and the babies are growing more. So I'm assuming they're happy there. Let's check out. Yeah, I had to like redo them because put them in water and they had rot. So when you have a lot more green and the bottom rots, you basically cut it again. And this time you allow it to callus a little longer, like letting the cut heal for like maybe you did it for like 30, like for 3 hours, then do it for longer, 6 hours. Yeah, until you're successful. Depending on the weather, there's different humidity in the air. So this is the cutest one. I love this. This one is a little sad. Definitely has a lot of new. It's like a lot of new growth. Yeah, I didn't even know oregano looked like this, and it's very velvety. It has hairs too. That's also a cool thing to know. To be honest, I saw a YouTube or a short say that you can use this as toilet paper, like people that live out in that are off grid. But I don't know. I've seen this very nice in some apartments. I had it outside, and the sun was really harming it. I'll be back to this one. This is like the cutest. It's called a dragon tree. It's called Dracaena dragon tree, and it has babies there too. Very slow growing. It's as if I found like the slowing the aging process for plants. When you have plants indoors, it's like somehow they live longer or they grow slower. So imagine we could do that to humans. We control our weather, like we could live in a little dome or something, and we could live longer. I started these as leaf cuttings. This is some type of succulent, and where is it? Oh, there it is. This one. I cut the leaves. This is called the Chinese money plant. Supposedly a lot of Chinese restaurants and businesses have it, and they go crazy because if you have this like near your business door or in your near your home door. I have one in my door actually. Let me prove to you. I like to follow my feng shuis. It's my entrance door, and it's so cute. It's an elephant. So So this gets very, oh my God, look, the poppies are coming out. I put poppy seeds, California poppies, and they're eventually coming out, I guess. Those are poppy seeds. They look like that. They look like carrots. That's cute. Yes, it is cute. This is my sister's chair. I live with my sister, and she bought this for decor. It's a furniture chair with a bowl with plants. And I put this because this is hers. She believes in Catholicism. But I have a lot of plants. Let's see. Tante, you woke up? Go back inside. Let's see. Close the door. Should I pull one out so you can see what it looks like? It's so well rooted. I was so patient. Having to let it dry out. Oh my God, it has so much roots. Maybe I can use this as a video. I can edit it, and this is some type of pilea, not pilea, but something like this, a Chinese money plant. Where's my little stencil? I need a stencil too. Well, I guess let's use a pencil. My dogs, I got into this. The good thing I got to it right in time. You can tell it's brand new still. They just barely bit it. I'm like, oh my God, that's poisonous. Did you know this is the original mutation of this plant? This plant was mutated by plant enthuist or whatever you call it. I can't pronounce it. And yeah, this is the original spider plant. Gives a lot of little babies. Let's tend to switch it over. Somehow there was like a mutation and it became variegated. And now this is the common store-bought plant, which this is not the original. This one is. It's called chlorophyll something something. Actually, I can use my phone if I can actually find the actual name. Let's use the Google image while using the app. Open camera, take a picture. It's called okay, it is called a spider plant, but what is it called? It was something about green. I know it's not chlorophyll. Skim reading. Okay, no. Good question. What is this? Does anyone answer the real question? Nope. I know how to find it. Let's ask Google Assistant. Okay, I like this cool option. I have an iPhone, which is my favorite, but someone gave me this phone to practice. Do you know the name of the spider plant? The original name?
The original name of the spider plant is Anthericum camosum. It was first named this by a Swedish botanist back in 1794. The name Chlorophytum camosum came later.
There it is, chlorophyll. What's that second name? Chlorophytum, whatever you said? Oh my God, my screen. What is the second name you said?
Chlorophytum camosum.
How do you spell that?
Chlorophytum camosum. It's kind of a mouthful, but I can spell it out for you.
Yeah, I can't say. Yeah.
Sure, here's the spelling. CHLOROPHYTUM, then a space, and COMOSUM. Got it.
Yeah. Tell me information about the Chinese money plant. Yeah, I found this on a Google app. You hit the Google option here, and then you hit open Gemini, and then you hit this little icon right here that's like a conversation. and then you have to, usually it's on when as soon as you open it, it's like on hold, but you push this. How are you doing today? Let's talk about plants.
I'm doing well, thanks for asking. I'm always excited to talk about plants. They're amazing things, don't you think?
Can you tell me about the Pilea peperomioides? Which is this one here?
Paleopepperonis are a great way to enjoy that classic pizza flavor
No, no, no.
without the additives found in traditional
Can you
pepperoni.
tell me
They're made.
about Pilea peperomioides?
Papa Murphy's doesn't have a specific
No.
paleo menu, but you can definitely make some paleo-friendly choices.
Can
Best
you tell
option is
me about the Pilea peperomioides plant?
there isn't a literal plant called a paleo-pepperoni cheese plant. It sounds like you might be thinking of a few.
Can you tell me information about the Pilea plant?
There isn't a specific plant called a paleo plant. The term paleo refers to the paleo diet, which focuses on foods
I
that
don't
humans
know.
ate
It's.
during the Paleolithic. Sounds like you're not quite sure about something. Do you want to tell me what's on your mind?
Do you know the plant Pilea?
I'm not familiar with a plant called paleo. It's
Okay.
possible it's a brand new type of plant. Or maybe there's some confusion with the word paleo. Do
Okay.
you know anything else about this plant? Like where it grows or what it looks like?
Do you know the difference between pothos and the heart-shaped philodendron?
Yeah, pothos and heart-shaped philodendrons can look pretty similar. The easiest way to tell them apart is by their leaves. Pothos leaves have a waxy, almost leathery feel to them,
Okay, this is
while
a potho.
philodendron leaves are... Okay, are you talking about the Zapata bladderpod? That's a pretty interesting plant.
Sorry to
It's
interrupt.
actually
Can you continue?
Sure, so the Zapata bladderpod is a pretty interesting
Can you
plant.
tell me the
It's
difference between pothos plant and the heart-shaped philodendron? Yeah, it's
It sounds like you
confused.
said heart-shaped Okay, I think I hear you saying you want to know the difference between a potho plant and a heartleaf philodendron. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, there are a couple of ways to tell them apart. First, check the leaves. Pothos leaves have a waxy, almost leathery feel, while philodendron leaves are softer. Also, the base of a pothos leaf is more rounded, while a philodendron's leaf has a more pointed base.
Interesting. Thank you. Can you tell me information about what is this? Citronella.
Sure. What kind of information? I can't provide information about that here yet.
Can you tell me information about the citronella plant?
Citronella plants have a lemony scent that's supposed to help keep mosquitoes away. They're
Hmm.
pretty easy to grow, and they add a nice touch to your yard or even your porch if you have them in a pot. Want to know how to grow one yourself?
Sure.
Okay, citronella plants love full sun, so make sure they get at least 6 hours of direct
Oh,
sunlight
that's
each
a
day.
lie.
They're not picky. You're right. I got a little confused there. Citronella plants actually prefer partial shade, especially in the afternoon. Too much direct sun can scorch the leaves. They still need a few hours of sunlight each day, though, or they'll get picky.
Did you see how he caught that? Like, I literally interrupted it. That was
Yeah,
so
that was
cool.
really impressive. You caught it. Elsa, the Snow Queen. Is there anything specific you'd like to know about her?
Can you tell me why it's so hard to grow the peace lily plant?
Actually, peace lilies are generally pretty low maintenance. They're known for being able to tolerate a little neglect. The most common reason they struggle is
Mine
getting too much
dies.
water. They like things evenly moist, but not soggy. Do you happen to know if you're overwatering yours?
I was overwatering, but I learned that when you're overwater like me, if you just pull the roots right out of the pot and just let the roots sit over, they do just fine.
That's not quite right. Overwatering peace lilies can cause root rot, which is really harmful to the plant. Letting the roots sit out in the air isn't going to help them recover.
Can you tell me about the tri-star prayer plant, Calathea?
The triostar is a really beautiful plant, with those pink, green, and white stripes on its leaves. It's actually not a true calathea, but it's closely related. They like bright, indirect light and consistently moist soil. You might want to mist the leaves often, since they like high humidity.
Okay, what else? That was pretty cool. Thank you for your help.
Okay, here's another cool plant the Venus. Anytime. Let me know if you need
Do you know why my ZZ plant keeps dying?
Z plants are pretty hardy, so it's a little unusual for them to die off. They don't like a lot of water, so maybe you're overwatering it. How often do you water it? And does the soil feel dry between waterings?
I didn't realize that towards the end, and I've been having this leaf that's been alive forever. So, and then
Z plants can hold onto those old leaves for a long time, even when they're not getting enough water. You might want to check the roots to see if they're healthy, if they're mushy or
that's
brown.
bad.
Yeah, root rot's not good. You might be able to save your Z plant though. You can try repotting it with fresh soil after carefully trimming away any of those mushy roots.
Can you tell me about the polar plant?
There isn't a specific plant called a polar plant, but there are tons of amazing plants that can survive in the super cold polar regions. Some of them stay really small, like tiny wildflowers that'll live
Can you tell me
anywhere from.
about the polar palm plant?
There isn't a plant called a polar palm. Palms
Yes,
are
there
typically
is.
tropical plants that love warm weather.
There's a polar palm.
You're right. I seem to have gotten confused. There are actually a few palms that have the word polar in their name, even though they don't actually grow in the polar regions. One example is the polar white variety of the parlor palm. It's a popular houseplant with a really elegant look.
I'm explaining about plants on my YouTube live.
Sounds interesting. What kind of plants are you talking about?
I was talking to my sister. Sorry. It is a really cool plant.
Happens all the time. So what kind of plants were you talking about?
What's the name of the pothos plant that has little white specks?
The pothos with little white specks is called marble queen pothos. It's a super popular houseplant with beautiful variegated leaves.
That's not it. Actually, let's find this plant because that would be cool if it was. So we're gonna open the Google thing, scan, take a picture. This is called the Satan. Oh, Lord Jesus, please help. Is sad. I hope it's not Satan. Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, let's go with Synsidapsis. Syndapsis. Syndapsis. Let's see if it understands my English. Um, Dapsis. Let's go back to the smart Gemini. Can you tell me about the Syndapsis plant?
I believe you're asking about the satin pothos plant, sometimes called a synapse plant. It's a popular houseplant known for its beautiful variegated leaves. The leaves are typically a dark green color with silvery gray markings, and the plant itself can grow quite long. Would you like to know how to care for a satin pothos? Or perhaps you'd like to learn about other plants similar to it?
Can you tell me more about it and when to know when to water it?
Okay, satin pothos are fairly low maintenance, but they do like consistent care. As for watering, you'll want to check the soil about an inch down. If it feels dry to the touch, it's time to water. Also, they prefer bright, indirect sunlight. Can you tell me if you have a spot like that?
I do. It's right at the windowsill, hanging, um, with this ghetto. Uh, what is this?
That
um,
sounds like a great
Cloth
spot for
hawk?
your satin pothos.
I mean, not cloth hawk. It's a, what do you call those? I haven't used one in a while. A hanger, close hanger.
It's possible that the plant you're seeing growing alongside it is a different variety of pothos, or even a completely different type of vine. Can you describe what the leaves look like?
Can you tell me about the fishbone calathea plant?
The fishbone calathea, also called the Burl Marksy calathea, is known for its beautiful dark green leaves with striking, lighter green veins that look just like fishbones. They're not super high maintenance, but they do like consistent warmth and humidity. Would you like to know how to care for one? Or perhaps how it differs from other?
No, about the rattlesnake calathea.
The rattlesnake calathea is a really cool plant. Gets its name from the unique dark green markings on its leaves that look kind of like snakeskin. They're a bit more low maintenance than some other calatheas, which is nice. Would you like to know how to care for one? Or maybe how big they can get?
No, my viewer hasn't asked any questions yet about any of the plants, so we'll move on.
Okay, now that we've covered a few different plants, is there anything specific you'd like to talk about? Maybe you'd like to hear about how to create a low light garden, or how to make a terrarium.
Let's talk about jade plant indoors.
Okay, there's a lot to love about jade plants. They're super easy to care for, and they have that classic succulent look. Do you already have one, or are you thinking about getting one?
I have one and it has new growth.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. Can you say it again?
I have one already and it has new growth.
That's great to hear. Jade plants are slow growers, so new growth means your plant is happy and healthy. Do you want tips on how to encourage even more growth?
Sure. I don't have to keep it dry so I don't overwater it.
That's right. You don't want to keep the soil constantly soggy, but you also don't want it bone dry. A
It
good
is
rule of
bone
thumb
dry.
is
That's a lie. You want it bone dry until it gives you sign of thirst. And this, oh wow, it was really thirsty and it got really happy.
that's wonderful to hear. It sounds like your jade plant is really thriving. By the way, if you want to repot your jade plant, it's best to do it in the summer when it's actively growing.
Well, I did it in the winter and it's stunning.
Wow, that's unusual. Jade plants usually don't like being repotted in the winter. How long has it been in the new pot? And do you see any signs of stress, like wilting or dropping leaves?
It's been in its new pot for about 5 days and I only see one sign of a dry leaf. That's it.
That's not bad at all. Since it's winter,
Or
your
two.
jade plant might go into a sort of dormancy mode, so it's normal for it to slow down a bit. Keep an eye on it, and if you see more leaves drying up, you might want to adjust your watering schedule a tiny bit.
Can you tell me how popular Hoyas are?
Hoyas are super popular right now. People love them for their unique flowers and the fact that they're relatively low maintenance. There are tons of different varieties too, so you can find one that fits your style. Want to know more about a specific type of Hoya?
I have two type of Hoyas. I have a skinny two-leaf Hoya and I have a thicker leaf green Hoya.
That's great. There's a huge variety of Hoyas out there. The care is pretty similar across the board, but some of the different types might have slightly different preferences. Do you know the specific names of your two Hoyas?
I don't. I
Okay, no
really
worries.
don't.
Can you describe? Okay, no problem. We can still figure out the best care for them. Can you tell me where you keep them? Do they get a lot of bright light, or are they in a shadier spot?
I keep them on a top shelf right underneath a window, which they still get some light, and I have a ceiling fan that gives them some air.
That sounds like a good spot for them. Hoyas like bright, indirect light, so that's perfect. And a little airflow from the fan helps keep them healthy too. Do you fertilize your Hoyas?
I don't. My friend gave me some fertilizer. Um, what is it?
Okay, that's good to know. When you get it,
I
I
got.
think you're asking about the type of fertilizer your friend gave you. It would help to know what kind of fertilizer it is so we can figure out the best way to use it.
They gave me Hydroplex and Floral Nova Grow 7410.
Okay, both of those fertilizers are good options for your Hoyas. They'll give them the nutrients they need to grow strong and healthy. You'll want to follow the instructions on the fertilizer bottles for how much to use and how often to water them.
Why are my heart-shaped philodendrons still have very tiny leaves? These are
There
supposed
could
to
be a
be the
few reasons why your
size
heartleaf.
as this. Are heart-shaped philodendrons the same size as monsteras?
That's right. Heartleaf philodendrons can get pretty big. Monstera deliciosa plants can get huge, with leaves that can reach several feet across. If you want your philodendron to get that big, it's going to need a lot of bright indirect light and regular fertilizing. Also, you might need to repot it into a larger pot every few years as it grows.
That's a lie. I've heard the size of the pot doesn't matter.
Actually, the size of the pot does matter, but it's not the only important factor. If the pot is too small, your roots won't have enough
I
room.
know, I'm so amazed about this. I never knew it was this smart.
On the other hand,
I have an avocado tree
hey,
indoors.
that's cool. Avocado trees can make great houseplants. They like lots of bright light, so you'll want to keep it near a sunny window. Also, they like to dry out a bit between waterings. Do you have any specific questions about caring for your avocado tree?
I grow it in a north facing window and it's split into two.
That's interesting. Most people think avocado trees need a lot of direct sunlight, so a north facing window might not have enough. Since it's split into two, it's adapting to get more light. Do you want to know how
Oh,
to repot it?
no, thank you. I think I know how to do it.
Okay, cool. Do you have any other questions about your avocado tree? Or maybe about another plant?
What other plant do I have? Okay, let me look. Let me look. What other plant?
Okay, just
Okay,
let me know when you're ready.
Boston fern. The Boston fern.
Boston ferns are really okay. Boston ferns can be a little high maintenance, but they're totally worth it when they're looking their best. Do you want tips on how to keep your Boston fern looking lush?
I just found out that they like to be on the soggy side, and therefore mine was looking scorched. But now it has a few new green leaves coming out.
That's great news about the new leaves. Boston ferns can bounce back if you can get the watering right. You might want to mist the leaves sometimes too, since they like a little extra humidity.
What about the foxtail fern?
Are you talking about the foxtail fern?
Yes, I think that's the name of it.
It's really similar to the Boston fern, so they have pretty much the same care instructions. They both like bright, indirect light, regular watering, and a little extra humidity.
Um, what else?
Oh, there's the peace lily. It's a class popular for its beautiful white flowers. It's also a great beginner plant because it's pretty low maintenance, or maybe something a little more exotic, like a Chinese evergreen.
Let's talk about caring for olive trees indoors.
Olive trees indoors can be a little tricky, but it's definitely doable. They love lots of bright, direct sunlight, so you'll need to place them near a sunny window. You'll also need to make sure they get enough water, not too much. The soil should be slightly moist, but not soggy. Do you have any specific questions about caring for your olive tree?
No, I perfected it. At first, when I first brought it home, it dropped a few leaves. But what I like to do, I have it in a wrapper at the bottom of the pot. I check the bottom of the pot to see if it looks moist, and that's how I check if it has enough water. And I know they're really good drought tolerant trees, so maybe 1 week allowing it to fully dry out would be okay. And so far, I think I'm starting to get new growth.
That's great to hear. Olive trees can be a little finicky, so it sounds like you've really figured out what your tree likes. Checking the
Hmm.
bottom of the pot is a good way to gauge the moisture, and letting it dry out a bit between waterings is important. Do you want tips on fertilizing your olive tree?
Yes,
Okay, you'll want to use a fertilizer that's
my
specific for citrus
gemstones.
trees.
Okay, continue.
My Gemstones is a song by the. I'm sorry, but I can't continue without more context. Could you please tell me what you'd like me to do?
Oh no. I found a
No problem.
bug
What
in
can I
my
do for you?
pot. What should I do? Should I release it to the wild or should I smush it?
That depends a bit on what kind of bug it is. If it's something like an aphid or a mealybug, those guys can actually harm your plants. But if it's something more like a spider or a ladybug, they might actually help control other pests.
It's a
Do you know what kind of
scissors.
bug it is? Wait, a pair of scissors? Are you sure it's not a spider or something else?
It's scissors, but I have to release it because that is the right thing to do. My YouTube said my YouTuber said I have to release it. My YouTuber, my
Well, you're right about one thing. Releasing.
she's my.
What's up?
I have to listen because she has more subscribers than me. Okay, so I have a big yard and I have a lot of plants. I was a gardener in Beverly Hills, and the lady moved out, and they let me have all their pots and their furniture. So I have a big yard. So I have to release it to. Okay, let's get some light. Let's see. Can you turn on the light? Where is it? He 25. That was actually very nice of you. Thank you so much. That was a very good suggestion of you that I release it. Sorry for my mess. Sorry for my mess. Back to our studio. I want to be studio. Oh, the robot turned off. Should I continue talking to the robot? That's actually pretty cool, right? Okay, so I'm back.
All right, sounds good. What's on your mind?
Well, let's continue talking about olive trees.
Sure thing. Do you have any specific questions about olive trees, or would you like some general care tips?
How long can my olive tree go without water?
Olive trees can actually go without water for a while. They're naturally pretty drought resistant. Pot it is, and whether it's in a pot or planted in the ground. If you want a specific answer, I can give you some tips on how to figure out.
Okay, I really think this plant is cool, and I haven't talked about it, and I got to talk about it. I know it's pretty cool. It's not looking its best because it's supposed to be outdoors, but since I have it indoors, we're gonna figure out what it is. So back to the other phone, hit the picture, and we're gonna take a picture. And it says, for sure it's a Dracaena. I know it's a Dracaena, but what kind of Dracaena? I have this one. That's really expensive. Well, not. Oh yeah, they do have it. What is it called? I think it's this one. Yes, they do get spider mites. Okay, let's ask the smart guy again. What's the name of the purple Dracaena?
Did you say dress senior? I'm not familiar with that term. Can you please say it again?
Can you tell me about the uh, red and purple tropical Dracaena?
Did you perhaps say tropical drink? If so, there are a few classic ones that feature red and purple colors. One of them is called a blue Hawaiian.
No,
That's
can you
blue
tell me
with red.
about the dragon tree Dracaena tropical multicolor purple?
I'm not familiar with the term dragon tree tracing. Did you perhaps say dragon tree tricolor? It's a popular houseplant with long, thin leaves that have green, red, and purple stripes. That's the
Yes.
one you're interested in. Okay, the dragon tree tricolor is a great choice for adding a pop of color to your home. It's pretty low maintenance, so it's a good plant for people who don't have a lot of experience taking care of plants. You'll want to keep it in a bright spot, but not in direct sunlight. And water it when the top inch or so of soil feels dry.
Top inch soil is wet.
I didn't catch that. Can you say it again?
The top inch soil is wet.
Okay, if the top inch of soil is still wet, you might want to hold off on watering for a little bit. You want to avoid overwatering the dragon tree, because that can lead to root rot. Maybe check it again in a few days.
Yeah, I wiggle the stem to make sure that there's air inside.
Okay, checking the soil and wiggling the stem are both good ways to gauge how much water your plant needs. But it's also possible the soil will feel kind of dry on top, while the roots are still really wet, especially if the plant is in a big pot. Do you know how big the pot is?
Okay, let's move on. The final plant of the night, because it's getting late and it's 10 o'clock. I would love to do this all night, but I don't want to overstimulate my viewers. let's talk about the Birkins plant.
Okay, the Birkins plant, also known as the Chinese evergreen, is a super popular houseplant. It's known for being super easy to care for and
That's a
having
lie.
beautiful leaves. I can understand why you feel that way. Is there anything else I can help you with?
It grows very slow, and I heard that it's very prone to dying if you overwater it. It like to stay on the dry side, like a cactus.
That's right. The Birkins plant, yeah, kind of like a cactus, though not quite as extreme. They're both plants that have adapted to survive in dry conditions, so they store water in their leaves and stems.
Why are their stems so thick?
That's a good question. Those thick stems are actually a cool adaptation that helps the Birkins plant survive. You see, they store water in there, which helps the plant hang on during those times when it doesn't get watered for a while.
I noticed that I was watering it regularly and it was dying, and I started uh, giving it water sparingly, and it kind of boomed back out.
That's great that you figured out what it needed. It's really common to underwater plants, especially if you're new to having houseplants, but you're definitely on the right track with the Birkins plant.
Yeah, it's really weird. Can you tell my
Plants
viewer
can be
how
pretty expensive.
expensive the Birkins plant is?
Birkins plants aren't super cheap, but they're also not crazy expensive. You can usually find them online or at your local plant nursery for anywhere between $30 to $50. The price can change depending on how big the plant is and where you get it.
I live in a low income community in Los Angeles, so I got it for really cheap at my local nursery for about $10.
That's awesome. Sometimes local nurseries have great deals, especially if you get lucky and find one that's on sale or clearance.
I didn't say clearance, I said I live in a poor community.
I understand. Sometimes
I also survived this one. Oh my god, so this is also
I'm not sure what you mean by survive this one. Please clarify?
this is a heart-shaped philodendron.
Okay, I'm a little confused about what you're asking. Can you please rephrase it?
How fast do heart-shaped philodendrons grow?
Heart-shaped philodendrons are known for being pretty fast growers. You can expect to see new leaves popping out every few weeks, especially if it's getting enough light and water. Of course, things like the size of the pot and how much humidity it gets can also play a role in how quickly it grows.
Why are the baby leaves of the heart-shaped philodendrons pink?
That's a great question. Sometimes the new leaves on a heart-shaped philodendron can have a pinkish color. There's a couple of reasons why that might happen. First, it could just be the way the plant is developing. As the leaves mature, they'll gradually turn a darker green color. There's also a type of philodendron called the pink princess, which has leaves with pink and green variegation. If you have that
Ooh.
particular kind, the pink color is totally normal.
I think that's all the plants I have.
Alright, sounds good. Hopefully, we answered some of your plant questions. Do you want to talk about something else?
No, only plants. This is the plant channel. What else can we talk about?
Alright, let's switch gears. What else are you interested in?
Um, Citronella, um, the arrowhead plant.
It's pretty interesting. The arrowhead plant is a pretty cool house plant. It's named for the shape of its
Okay,
leaves, which are kind
are
of like
pothos faster growers than the heart-shaped philodendron?
potatoes grow underground,
No.
so it's kind of tricky to
Are
compare them to houseplants.
pothos plant faster growers than heart-shaped philodendrons?
Yeah, pothos plants grow a lot faster than heart-shaped philodendrons. They're actually one of the fastest growing houseplants out there. You can easily see new growth on a pothos plant in just a few weeks.
Let's talk about plant, flowers, and the world's health.
Plants and flowers play a pretty important role in keeping the world healthy. They produce oxygen, which we need to breathe. They also help clean the air by absorbing pollutants, and they provide food and shelter for lots of different animals. There's also a growing field of research that suggests spending time around plants can actually make us feel happier and healthier.
My living room smells fresh since I have about 200 plants in my living room.
Having that many plants in one room must make your living room feel like a little jungle. It makes sense that it smells fresh.
Yeah, it does.
Plants are like nature's air fresheners. All right, cool. Do you want to stick to talking about plants or switch to something else?
Let's talk about growing the what is this? Aeonium Hawanthi indoors.
Yep, you're right. It's Aeonium. They're really cool succulents with beautiful rosettes and leaves. You can grow them indoors, but they do need a lot of bright light.
Yeah,
So
that's what
placing
it
them near a sunny window is important. Also, make sure they're in well-draining soil since they're succulents.
Still green. I think that's all the plants I have. How fast does it take, or how quickly do snake plants grow roots from cuttings?
Snake plants can take a really long time to grow roots from cuttings. You're looking at months, maybe even up to a year. It's kind of slow going compared to other plants. But the good news is they're pretty hardy, so if you give them the right conditions, you should eventually see those roots start to grow.
Is it true that it's best if you keep the water bowl away from sunlight so it doesn't root rot?
That's actually a myth. Whether or not your plant gets root rot depends on how much you water it and how well draining the soil is.
No,
Keeping the water bowl away from sun.
for water propagations.
Got it? So you're asking about water propagation for plants. It's best to keep the water in a shaded spot, like a cupboard or drawer.
That's what
When
I
you're
meant to
rooting
say.
cuttings It sounds like you're asking about growing aeoniums indoors.
Nope.
They're really cool plants, and with the right care, they can thrive indoors. Do you have any specific questions about growing them?
Let's talk about um,
All right, what else would you like to talk about?
okay, let's not talk about reviving bamboo plants in water.
All right, sounds good. Let's change the topic. What else would you like to talk about?
Let's talk about growing the arrow plant in water.
Yeah, arrowhead plants make really cool water propagations. They're super easy to root and look great in a vase. Do you have any specific questions about growing them in water?
Can they live forever in water?
Technically, yes. Arrowhead plants can live in water forever, but there's a catch. They'll eventually start to look a little worse for wear. You see, they get all their nutrients from soil normally. In water, they'll slowly start to lose their color, and the leaves might get smaller. If you want to keep your arrowhead plant looking its best, it's better to transfer it to soil once it's well rooted.
This is one of my favorite plants, which is like trying to avoid
It
it,
sounds like the arrowhead plant is one.
but we're gonna find its name. Let's
All right.
figure it out. So the name of this
I'm a little
plant
confused about what you mean by.
is.
Okay, I think I see what's going on. You're curious about the name of a plant, right? Do you have any pictures of it, or can you describe what it looks like?
It's purple in the back and it's shaded green in the top.
Okay, that's helpful. A purple back and shaded green top narrows it down a bit. Can you tell me if the leaves are wide or thin?
The leaves are thin and it's velvety in the back.
With the purple back and thin, velvety leaves, it sounds like you might have a Gynora frontier. It's a purple velvet plant or purple passion plant. They're pretty popular houseplants known for their striking color. Do you think that sounds right?
No, this is a type of calathea with velvety back and purple leaves.
Okay, there are a few types of calathea with purple on the back of their leaves. The purple back calathea is one option, or maybe a calathea medallion, if the leaves have a dark green
Yep.
silver pattern on top. Do either of those sound right?
Yep. It starts with the F. I found it.
Great. I'm glad you were able to figure it out. Do you want to talk about how to care for your fuzzy calathea or something else?
Okay, I'll just. How do you care for Rufibarbra calathea?
Okay, the fuzzy calathea, also known as the Calathea rufibarba, is a beautiful plant, but it does need some special care. First, it loves humidity, so misting the leaves regularly or using a humidifier can help. They also like bright, think spot. The sheer curtain or indoors, so you
I miss them and I check on them.
Soil is consistently moist, but not soggy during the growth season.
I'm having low connectivity for some reason.
Sorry, I can't help with that.
Okay. I'll catch you next time. Thank you for watching. Say bye to my viewer.
And that's a wrap, folks. Thanks for tuning in.
And that's a wrap, folks. Thanks for tuning in. My phone is slow.
You're
Slow
welcome.
back. You out of the shower, boo? You out of the shower?
So do you want to continue talking about plants, or is there something else you'd like to chat about?
No, just
No
no.
manches means no way, or you're kidding me in Spanish. Is there anything else
Bye.
you'd
Peace out.